And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're talking about monsters and we're talking about those shiny diamonds that all the ladies love so much. Today we're putting those two things together for a quick card game called Diamonsters. This came out from Pandasaurus Games, IDW, and it's by the same designer and artist, I think, of Machi Koro, and it's a quick card game for 2 to 6 players. It takes place about 20 minutes. Let's take a look. I'll show you how it plays. I'll see you on the other side. In Diamonsters, you have 5 cards in the entire game, labeled 1 through 5 for the 5 different monsters. Everybody starts with the same exact hand each round, which is one of each of these 5 monsters. And of course, these cards are held in your hand secretly from the other people, but I have them down here just to show you what they look like. Now, the object of the game is to try to get either 3 monsters of the same type in your play area, or get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds in front of you. First person to do that wins a round. The person that wins a round gets a nice little blue diamond there. And depending on the amount of players, you'll see how many pieces of diamonds you need to end the game. Now let's say we have 4 players. How does a round work? Again, these would be in my hand, but I'm showing you here what I have in my hand. Everybody starts with the same cards, and the top card is flipped, and this is the monster people are battling for, the number 3 monster. So what happens is everybody picks a card from their hand and places it face down. Once everybody's cards has been placed face down, let's see, I do this. Okay, so once everybody's cards there, we flip them up, and usually the highest one will win. So we flip these up, and we have 3, 3, 4, 5. Well, the first thing that happens is anytime there's 2 of the same, or more than 1 of the same monster, those cancel out and get removed and go back into that player's hand. Now, why would these have thrown a 3? Well, if you're the interesting thing about this game is if you were the one to win this monster, you take this card and the monster you bid with back. And the reason why you'd want to do that is because now I have 2 monsters of number 3. And all you need is 3 of them to win. So sometimes that's what people will do. And both of us thought about that. But they basically come out and go back into the owner's hands because they canceled out. Once all the cancellations happen, you see who has the highest card. And right now, 5 would have won this. So this person takes his card back. This person will get the 5 and the 3, and they put it right here in their player area. Then they draw back up to 5 cards. So now we know that that player no longer has the 5 in their hand unless it was the 1 card that they drew. So as the rounds go on, people's hands start to, or at least the people's hands of people that won those rounds, start to change a little bit, and you don't know exactly always what they have in their hand. So let's take another look. Let's do another round here. So they're fighting for a 2, which this guy is very valuable because he has 2 diamonds. And remember, one of the winning conditions for the round is having 5 total diamonds. Okay, so let's say people play these cards like that. And now we reveal, everyone would have played them, 2, 4, 1, and 5. Okay, so now what would happen? Normally, you'd look at this and you'd say, we have a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, there's no cancellations. 5's the largest one, he wins, right? Well, normally he would. If this number 1 wasn't there, and there was maybe a number 3 here, then yes, number 5 would win because it would be the highest one. But there's a little trick here, is the card number 1, which also has 2 diamonds, is special because it's always a 1 unless if there's any 5 present that hasn't been canceled out. The 1 kind of acts like a 6. It beats everything else, but only if there's still a 5 there. So if there's a 5, the 1 trumps it, and the 1 person would get this like this. That's the power of the 1, is it can be the toughest one, the highest number in there, but only if there's a 5 there after the cancellations happen. And so this guy would get these 2. And of course, these would go back into the player's hands, and we would do another round. And as the rounds go on, there's some interesting things to note. Like, for example, when you pull up this card, it's the next one there. Well, when you're looking around, you're trying to guess what people are playing. or what they're gonna play, you can look at this guy and go, he probably doesn't want this card because he doesn't already have any 4s, because again, you need 3 of the same monster to win the round, and the 4 actually eats 2 diamonds. He's strong, but if he were to win this, let's just say this was over here, it would be 2 plus 2 minus 2, so he'd only have 2 diamonds away, where right now he's only 1 diamond away from winning, so people can think that he's gonna play something. He does not even want this card, and maybe this guy doesn't want it either, but maybe if this guy already had a 4 out there, and then maybe he's not gonna go for diamonds. Maybe he does want to try to win this card, so he has 2 of the 3 monsters of number 4 to win the game. Other interesting things is maybe if the card was this, once again, this player really wants this, because if he does win this, he's going to win the round right now. So everybody knows we got to stop this person from getting this card, or he's going to win the round, and things like that. So as cards come up, and as cards are in front of players that they have won in their monsters collection earlier, and it's open information as to what they're going to win. Here, you're always trying to figure out who's going to win what, who could actually win this round, and what possible cards do they have in their hand at the time. So again, this continues. Let's say this person won with that, and they had won this round because they had played a 5, they got the 1, they would have won because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they have at least 5 diamonds, they would get one of these, and again, you play to as many players as the rules state, depending on the amount of players. And after one of these diamonds is won, everybody puts the cards back into the pile, it's shuffled, and a new round is started with everybody with those same first 5 cards. Alright, there's Diamonsters. I tend to like quick little light filler card games that I can teach to anybody, but yet there's a level of depth there. Now this game, I do like it. I like it best with 2 and 3. Those are my favorite player counts. 4 is okay, but you're starting to get a little craziness. 5 and 6 for me is just absolutely too random. I won't play this with 5 or 6. I can't recommend it for 5 or 6, but it is very fun with 2 or 3, and 4 is pretty good too. Here's the reason why. Is when you're playing with 2, it's very tactical. It's very all about guessing what the other person's going to do. And at the beginning of a round, it might feel a little random because you don't have any information to go on. But then once one person starts to win 1 or 2 or 3 things, and they haven't yet, won the round, you can really try to see what would they. You have more information to figure out what they might be throwing, right? And so, and with 3 players, I think that's the sweet spot because you've got one more person to kind of think about. With 4, it gets a little bit more craziness. Now, with 5 or 6, it's just, for me, it's almost unplayable because you're essentially just guessing, and at that point, you're essentially also just trying to, what's the one card that's not going to cancel out this round, essentially. And there's a lot of rounds where everything cancels out with 5 and 6 players, so I don't like it with that many. But with 2 and 3, I really like this game. It's quick, it's easy, it's that constant bluffing, double bluffing, psychology. Hey, he played this last time this card came up. What's he going to play now? It's almost like rock, paper, scissors, but instead of 3 options, you get 5. And having that 1 trump the 5 is also fun because it just gives you another layer of detail. Now this is a very light game, super light, but it can be fun to just play quickly, to be guessing, haha, I thought you were gonna play this, I played this, I got the diamonds. So for me, it's enjoyable with 2 or 3, I love it. Quick little game, easy to play, easy to teach. It's probably not one I'm gonna pull out all the time, but if I have, just a few minutes, and you don't have to play all the rounds, you can just play 1 or 2 rounds if you're waiting for someone to show up. You can stop whenever, and whoever has the most diamonds when the person gets here, you win. So it's very transportable and very kind of modular that way. But if you like games where you're trying to guess what other people are going to play, a little pokerish, what are they playing? What are they going to do? If you like that sort of thing, you'll like this. If you don't like to guess what other people are playing, you're probably not going to like this one. But I like it quite a bit with 2 or 3 players. That's Diamonsters.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.